Hello, welcome back to the basically chaotic podcast. I'm here with myself as Meow, and I'm here with
Gremlin Child, and I'm here with.
Who's gonna do it?
who's going first?
Who's going first?
It's gotta be
Tim.
you. It's gotta be you.
It's gonna be you.
Nah, because you're next.
What happens to me?
Dragon, aka Loza, and I'm gonna throw this in now before Tim can speak. Congratulations on Team Australia for coming third in the ECG.
You didn't think
I
I
still
was.
got my bit in.
No, you didn't think I was gonna throw the bit in because I even put it
too
in the
bad,
stream
I stole
title.
The bit.
Too
Oh my
bad.
The bit is my bit.
It
Yay!
is, who said it's your bit? This is our bit. This is the podcast bit. And also, I am your host, Tiff Twinkle. And yes, congratulations to Australia for coming third in the ECG. We are actually proud of you. Woo!
Yay.
Proud of.
Go back and bye.
Look,
Yeah.
I wish that we could have seen it. But I think Loza was telling us before that they didn't have a live stream or anything of it. So
They did live stream, and you would have had to stay up till like 2-3 a.m. in the morning just to watch it live.
I don't
If
care.
anyone-
I'm going to do that for League of Legends when it happens in the UK. So
I don't know. I saw a certain someone already up at 2 working on their cosplay.
We are not going to talk about that because I finished the pants. So
as well, you're gonna have to come up to Sydney, like for
yeah.
Smash. So you've got less
Contract.
days than us. So I will defend you on a 2 a.m. Fuck
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, because
I mean,
I
Anya
fly
and I
out
were
in
still
like
on
6
Discord
days.
at 1.
alright.
And Anya and I were just playing fucking games at 1 in the morning.
Jesus.
K-pop, yes, the
We shouldn't, but we were.
Alright, so we're here with the Basically Chaotic podcast. What are we going to be talking about today? Well, this was a topic that we all
Talking
had.
about cosplay etiquette.
Yeah, no, we've had some, like, we've been having this topic, like, on our mind for quite a bit, especially between, like, me and Loza, like, we've had that idea for, like, a while, and now we're finally able to actually talk about it, and I guess, like, cosplay etiquette also not just at a convention, because, like, I feel as though that does go out to, like, people who cosplay in public and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's a very big topic, but I feel as though it is needed to be talked about. Who would like to go first with their points so we can all get a discussion going? I can just see Dwagon's just like, no.
No, was something just fell down. My screen turned off. I was like, oh fuck it.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, pull out the little puppy screen. Okay, I'll go first. I'm now talking.
I'm sorry, Loz.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll probably hear my puppy dog in the background as well. I'm sorry. So yeah, etiquette. To be honest, yeah, it should definitely be a thing that needs to be talked about, because I don't know if any of y'all have experienced this or have seen this post and pre and post COVID, like convention scene type thing. The etiquette's gone downhill. I won't lie. Like, people will have to. I don't know. I think it just comes in with the new wave of cosplays and cosplay becoming a lot more mainstream, because like we see it in a lot of mainstream media now, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that obviously people coming into this culture not knowing is just the thing. Like, I don't know. I think a conversation just needs to be talked about, if that makes sense. That's my opinion on cosplay etiquette.
I think
which is like what we're here doing today as well.
No. I think the thing that you brought up as a very valid point is the fact that obviously the panini happened. We're still gonna call it the panini.
Hey,
We're still
leave me with my panini.
Last called it.
We're still gonna.
Fusilli is bread in is sandwich in Italian.
Look, I kind of want
Yes,
to.
we were all stuck in a
Some
sandwich.
people order a panini sandwich and they're literally calling a sandwich.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh no, not this! Not this again!
I mean, Steve, you just like
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
so sorry.
but I would actually like to continue that because I've been me and Loza, like all of us basically have been around in the cosplay scene before the pandemic hit, right? So we knew what the scene was, which it was very much like chill as hell. There was no sort of there wasn't really any like bad things to talk about. It was genuinely the most chill thing ever. Like,
sorry, it depends on like
I meant like
what it was, if that makes sense. Like, in general, like I don't know, like post COVID, like a lot of the scene has definitely changed because a lot of younger cosplayers are coming in. I think it's just also one of those things of like the unspoken rule was known by more people because the community wasn't as big, if that makes sense.
yeah, like it's definitely
But also because it's the younger generation, they kind of don't have the maturity that most of us did when we all first started.
Yeah,
That
and
makes it easy.
it's also the socialization as well, going into like a whole lot of psychological stuff. Like, obviously, a lot of kids who had to grow up through the pandemic weren't as like social, so face-to-face meetings a bit different. And also, it's one of those things of a lot of these ones were probably kids when they first, like before the COVID, and then coming out of COVID, coming into like the con scene, they're still only used to like what the younger cosplayers like. It's really weird to say, like the comparison of younger cosplayers versus older cosplayers as well, like going into the adult space type thing, but still having that like, I don't know, that's a weird topic to get into. I'm probably just babbling.
it is just a thing of I have noticed it because because when the pandemic happened, obviously no one was able to go to an event, right? So obviously you're right, no face-to-face meeting. But not only that, everyone just kind of like just went on TikTok essentially to have their interactions, which I agree, it was great.
I don't know if
Like,
anyone has heard about the what's it called? The Zoom con meetups that
wait,
happened.
There was what?
wait, that's a thing?
That was a thing?
This is not a thing, right?
Literally,
New
cosplayers
information
used to
to me
do
as well.
this like interactive con via Zoom, and I was like, "That's cool, but weird." But okay.
I mean,
Remember one thing I did during the pandemic, which was they were calling it IdolCon because they're still into the idol scene at that stage. But like you weren't like in cosplay and such. It was like, yeah, sure, you submitted costumes to like competitions and that you could do virtual meet and greets, but like never heard of a meetup style.
that was
Yeah.
like.
Laws, we technically did one.
Well, yeah, technically we did, but like I don't know.
It
I think
was that big.
yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah.
I can't get over that because like that's something that I thought I'd never hear, honestly. Just
Yeah.
a cosplay meetup via
No,
Zoom.
this was mostly. I think it was mostly because of the like newer cosplayers. They wanted to get to know the older
that's fair.
cosplayers, just to get like tips and tricks from them. Maybe I don't know. I never joined them. I just saw the links and went no.
I mean, that's honestly fair. But like having said that, like onto like the topic of that, right? Going into post-pandemic, everyone's got like every cosplayer that's joined now. I feel as though because they haven't had the social interactions with people, like there are things that have been like that are I want to say very questionable, or like I would look at it and just be like, look, I get it that, you know, it is, you know, post-pandemic and all that, but still, like, you got to have some form of respect towards other cosplayers, or just in general, like when you interact with them, if that makes sense. Because like,
Yeah.
because like I've only ever had one horror story when it comes to like just like etiquette, like cosplay etiquette in general, but it wasn't a cosplayer, it was like a member of the public, which, look, I'm not proud of it, but it was also the fact that, you know, us cosplayers, we work so hard to make our costumes or get our costumes ready. So we obviously do a lot of things to like prep, and having just a member of the public, you know, come up and not show the same etiquette, or, you know, like, yes, I get it, they don't understand, but they should at least like be able to control, like, if they've got kids, or, you know, they need to understand that cosplayers are people as well. We have our limits, you know. If we're, I think, sorry, Oni.
Oh, I was just saying, like, in general, they should make sure kids, they've been keeping an eye on their kids as well, because what's it called? From experience, just like kids running around or screaming, you gotta, like, and if you're like in a particular cosplay, that may like make you
Limit movement
and stuff, and then they just start touching your costume, and then the parents just allow it. It's just that's when that annoys me.
Oh,
it's
I
like,
definitely agree on that one.
Oh, that,
if you go on
yeah,
with
no.
a kid,
That
bad
and
person.
as well, like, okay, I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but like, because they're a kid, like they get, okay, this is an experience I had as a Barbie, right? So I did the big ball gown and such, and a lot of people were like, oh yeah, like a lot of people who didn't know the character was like, oh yeah, princess and such. People like shoving their kids at you just to get a photo with them. It's like, I wasn't gonna take a photo, but like, yeah, sure, you could have asked first.
Oh, that, yeah.
Like, outside of the whole like sniper stuff, because we all agree, right? Photo snipers are the worst.
Okay, I want to talk about that a little
my
later
gosh.
on. I
A
want to
little
talk
later
about that.
on. Going on to the point, like that's the other thing I don't think gets talked about is like, assuming you want to take a photo with someone, if that makes sense. Like someone just obviously just, oh yeah, puts it like, I don't know how to best
shoves the
explain
kid
that.
in
Like
front of you, and you're like, hello,
but not even
child.
just kids, like shoving people to you. Like, yeah, take a photo, take a photo. It's like, I have a coffee in one hand, I've got a Red Bull in the other, I've got my backpack still on. Can you at least give me 2 seconds to take this shit off and hand it to a friend?
Yeah, no, and like that's the other thing too, right? Because you are getting ready as a cosplayer. Because like, let's be real, like 9 times out of 10, all of us here have, you know, have probably experienced it. But like when you just got to the con, you are literally still in your jumper or something, because obviously, you know, you don't want to ruin your cosplay entirely, or it's cold, or whatever the case may be, and people are just like, I want to take a photo with that person, and it's like,
Sydney cons.
yeah, Sydney cons, fuck you. Fuck you and your weather.
But yeah, I do agree on that. Like, I don't know, when I get to a con, I think I need a little bit of buffer time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, everyone's buffer time would be different. Of like, okay, I don't want photos at this moment. I just want to go and find my friends and find my support network first. So then I can, at very least, start taking stuff off and getting ready for the day. So then, okay. So, like, say you head to a con without a handler, or you head to the con with other people who are also in cosplay. Like, you just want to be able to put your stuff down first, and then you can start taking photos, because you feel better looking. I don't know.
It's like preparing yourself.
Yeah, you're like prepping yourself for the day. You're like, okay, yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm in costume. but I just need 5 seconds just to put my stuff down, have the last sip of my drink, throw my drink out maybe, or like put my drink down and like set up for the day. Because I find a lot of people do that at cons as well. Like they have a little area that's like kind of the hub. And that's where their group will kind of accentuate themselves, and that's where you kind of return all day. So then, like, if people are at that little spot that you've camped up for the day, you can just put your bag down, take a few photos, and then pick your bag up without having the risk of someone coming in and taking your bag or so forth, so forth.
Well, yeah,
Well,
like,
at least it's monitored too.
Yeah, like you want to get to that little safe spot.
Space.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing now. Like, so this is talking as like, you know, someone who now, you know, I started doing photography and all that, right? I have basically started setting myself up like in a certain spot when we're at Olympic Park for Supernova and Oz Comic Con. You know, I've set myself up outside basically, and you know, we all just gravitated to that spot. Like all of us, like throughout the day, it didn't matter what time of day it was. Like we'll all just like, you know, we'll just gravitate to there because we know we all know that conventions get very loud, very big, and you know, there are some days that you can't handle it. So that's when you're just like, oh yeah, no, like I'm gonna go chill with my support network, which is what I definitely need at this point. And
also, sorry, cutting you off there, on support network, I believe every cosplayer needs a support network.
Oh no, 100%. We all need a support network, honestly.
Like, I think if you're getting into cosplay, it's really good to have like a core support group that you can, like, if you see them at a convention, you can gravitate to and be like, okay, if I'm with them, I know I'll be pretty good and pretty set. This is what I kind of love with cosplay and such, is that you can easily build that. Even if, like, you don't know anyone at the con, if you see a group of people, you can still, like, kind of, if you mingle around there and not be too, like, in their way or something, a lot of the times you can just kind of latch yourself onto the support group, and very least someone will, if you say, hey, could you just watch my bag for 2 seconds, someone will watch your bag. I found, obviously, with, like we were saying, the like area, sitting out area, like everyone kind of has a mutual, like, we don't touch each other's stuff unless it needs to be moved because it's about to get wet, like rained on, or like, oh, someone's just taking photos here, but someone will let them know, like, hey, whoever's bag this is, I'm just putting this over here, and everyone knows not to touch each other's bags because everyone has that mutual respect. Bringing it back around town, which also kind of like comes into like con etiquette. It's kind of like the spoken word of, if you see someone's bag there, you kind of like make sure you know whose it is. Yeah, sure, but like you make sure, like, one, no one fucks around with it, because that's probably their stuff. It's probably got their wallet and if they need medication, it's probably got that in there. It's got all their stuff in there. Like, you just everyone kind of keeps an eye on everyone's stuff, especially when there's general public around.
No, 100%. Like, that is like basically the unspoken rule, and especially like I feel as though a lot of people, like, they have like maybe like one or two like people for their support group, which is great. Like, it's still a support group, but I definitely feel as though you need at least, like, I want to say at least 4 or 5 people of just people you can go to, right? Because
of course, if you're like lucky enough to get that many people as well, and like I said, a lot of the times you can easily just start talking to people, latch on to people, even if it's like only for that con type thing. A lot of people I find in the cosplay community will adopt you, like it like a con mum type thing, or con mum or con dad or con parent and such, kind of like how you've got your like drag mum type thing to compare. What are you laughing at?
nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, let me check what's happening.
Nothing.
Oh, what are you? We already
But
sending.
usually my tip for baby cosplayers that usually ask me about stuff,
Oh,
I'm
there's
like,
nothing.
have someone with you. That is my basic thing. Have someone with you,
Agree.
because
Even if it's just like your actual parent type thing, like don't go to a
your
con by
parents, like a
yourself.
close friend, someone you trust.
Yeah, someone you trust. Bring a best friend. Bring someone like, because one, it's gonna make your con experience a lot more fun. Yeah, okay, I've done cons by myself where I'm like, yeah, I've had fun, but the reason why 9 times out of 10 I'm by myself is because like I just can't people, and 9 times out of 10 like I'm trying to make friends. I've gone and made a friend. It's very easy to make friends at cons, I find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then like yeah, cause then
Like, one of my first cons, I caught a train and I literally made a comment to someone's cosplay. And somehow I just became acquaintance and friends with this person. And I'm like, cool, I have a friend now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good part of cosplay as well. You can easily just the amount of people I've made friends of because they've been in a cosplay from a fandom I like, and I've gone, "Hey, I really like your cosplay. I really like that show," and we've just started talking about that show. I made friends with these ones who were in Dimension 20 cosplays at Supernova, and then I sent them the photos and such, and they sent me their photos, and then we started talking on Instagram, and that's like so many friendships and mutuals I've made.
I mean, dude, if you want to talk about making friends during cosplay and that, freaking me and Loza becoming friends, that was funny as shit.
To be honest, I can't even
Look,
remember.
the way
I
that
fucking-
Rosa and I became friends was something.
Oh, no. Okay, so do you actually
And
know...
again, I became friends with their younger sister.
Okay,
Yeah,
so...
that's
I
how I
do not
became friends
have-
with you,
no.
Ruth.
Okay,
Yeah.
so does anybody actually want to... So, brief top... Like, this is how, like, chill as hell we both were. This is just slightly off topic, but we will get back onto this. But it was just funny talking about making friends and all that, and, like, you know, showing how easy it is to become friends in the cosplay community. I literally sent a photo to Loza the first time I ever started speaking to them, because, like, we were acquaintances or something, or, like, we had each
We were
other...
friends of friends of friends of friends, like
Yeah, we were something. But then I sent a message to them because I, like, for those that don't know me, I vlog a lot of my content. So I go to, like, any event that I go to that I deem worthy, I vlog the hell out of it, because it's something that I'm passionate about, and showing, hey, this is what our cosplay scene is like. And kid you not, there was a snippet of Loza in my vlog, and I just went, is this you? And I just sent it to them, and just chill as hell. It was like, yes, this is me.
it's the fact that you found me over Facebook, if anything. That's a feat in itself.
Jeez.
Gods.
Yeah, no, like, not saying that it's a bad thing. It was just more like because I knew I had them on my Facebook, and I knew of them. I just didn't know what your actual name was.
That's fair.
But no, look, I want to hop back to something real quick, because I feel as though I want to talk about this. What is your worst horror story when it comes to anything related to cosplay etiquette? Because I've got a horror story that's a prime example of one related to just the general members of the public.
Oh, I've got one in just public, because it was just it had it affect me walking around in public, because I saw sometimes, like, there is, like, people remind you to stay away from certain people that aren't in the community for what's it called? Because they will either be, like, photo sniping or something and just give off creepy behavior. So I had I saw, like, one of those people in public, and I was just like, oh shoot. And I'm like, I would apply to real life of, like, avoid. But it's That's so cool. Yeah, it was like one of like the like general public people that come up to you that like sometimes hang around like the conventions that I just recognized in public, and it was just like, I'm gonna bolt.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
fair.
that's right.
If Lytle fight just off Oni.
Yeah, it literally just activated by default, and I was just like, I know I'm in public, but avoid.
Right.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.
My
Mine is more with a photographer, actually. Where this was start of the con. I'm very much out of it. I just want to look at pretty stuff in Artist Alley. And this photographer literally approached me and just kept hassling me to take photos, and I'm like, maybe, I literally said maybe later, or like, not at this point, because I'm still fucking waking up, because it's morning, I just want to look at pretty stuff. He just kept hassling me until I said yes, and thank God I was with friends that were going to look after me. And then, like, obviously, when I was just done with the photos, the friends literally said, okay, that's enough of the photos, she's done. But he kept trying to push me to do more poses, and I'm like, no, I don't want to.
it's the fact that I think I know exactly the talk you're talking about, and I've had
I mean, it's not that hard if you're in the Sydney community.
not that too hard.
Yeah, but also
Especially
like
if
no
you're in
being
the
no.
Sydney Idol community.
Yeah, but
It's you ones that were in the Sydney Idol community that would know it.
yeah, it's also the fact of like you said no and they didn't consider no as an
No,
answer.
I kept saying no. I don't want photos at this point. I literally, like, I don't remember what it was happening because it was a few years ago.
Mm.
But I know I literally said no, and I'm like, I don't want to at this point because it is still early in the morning, and
Yeah,
I just wanted to look at stuff in Artist Alley before I did anything else in the day.
yeah, and you do get stopped by like not just photographers while walking through the alley, but you also get stopped by like people at the con that are like, hey, can I take a photo with you? Which is fine, but
Yeah,
as long as
That's fine. They
asking.
asked you because they have their photo out. Yeah, but this photographer was literally fucking camera in his hand, trying to push for it, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood. I'm fucking waking up. It is too early. I just got in the con. Can I look around first?
Can I take a moment to just like count how many times you said the F word? Let's just count.
Can we not?
This
Can
is
we
what
not?
happens when you know I'm actually
It will be
mad.
up on TikTok, and I will count this
Oh,
just for you.
The swear jar.
This whole episode, swear jar.
what?
This whole episode is sponsored by Gremlin's Swear Jar.
Wait.
Sorry, Gremlin.
I want to say a horror story I had. I don't know. I want a few, but so I've got some like general ones of like just people sniping and such, and I hate those ones. I particularly hate when people get mad when you say no. Like, you're obviously on a roll. You've got to get from point A to point B, and someone's asked for your photo, and it's like, no, sorry, I've just got to keep going. I can't stop, and then they get mad. It's like, oh, how dare I not stop for you just to take a photo that I'm never gonna see on your shitty little iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're gonna do with that photo, but okay.
Yeah. I've had people touching my cosplay without consent. I hate. One time I had done Taco from the Adventure Zone. So this is a character with a big, massive wizard hat that I had made. I had some random normie kid pull on the back of my hat and nearly ripped my wig off.
Oh,
I
that's
would've
At a
yelled at the
convention, mind
kid.
you. I turned around and went off at him, and he got scared and ran off. And it's like, of course I'm going to turn around and yell at you because you went and pulled on my hat, which was attached to my head.
Then why people think that's okay to touch
I
something.
had someone get really mad at me because I walked through the convention in a big costume. So
That's not your fault.
no, so this was Supernova 20. What was the year 2022 from my photo. So I was doing Mercy from Overwatch. And this was the year the voice actor for Mercy was at Supernova. So I had to get. So obviously I was meeting her in the cosplay, and this cosplay is like one with the wings as well. So the wings were out and they were big, mind you. I was yelling, "Big cosplay, move out of the way!" Top of my lungs, yelling at it. I had some general public. I think I picked them up from the 501st, helping me move down because I was like Supernova signings and all of that at the back of the convention. So trying to move down. I had people targeting me, trying to bash into my wings. Sorry. And then I had someone complain about me that I shouldn't be moving through a convention with a big costume like that.
Oh, heaven. Oh, woe is me.
So, in person and online. And
Oh,
I'm
wait,
like,
online? Bullshit!
yeah, like, they didn't know who I was, mind you. This was on, like, one of the Facebook pages of, like, someone complaining about it. Like, from what I can remember, they got a lot of slack on the post as well. But, and I only saw it once, and I was like, oh, I know who they're talking about.
But rightfully so that they should get slack on that
But
post,
like
because
at the same time, it's like I that was the only time I walked into that convention hall in that cosplay because I needed to get down to the other end to meet a voice actor. Like, I'm like, fucking rude. I'm just trying to make my like. Yes, okay, I'm not like the 501st where they can physically make a massive barricade for their big costumes to walk down, like the big Chewie cosplayer that does the big tall. It's not Chewie. It's like, I don't know, Star Trek. It's one of those ones where they're in the big costume and such, and they've got like a whole force walking them down. When this person had complained, I'm pretty sure that's when one of the ones from the 501st kind of helped me, like, push away crowds just so that I could. Because no, I was skirting around the walls as well, trying to not go down the middle, because obviously I'm not that stupid. But no, yeah, that's probably one of many of like just, and then yeah, you had those dickheads who were aiming for my wings, like aiming to bash into my wings just because they can.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
Of PAX.
I just remember a friend's story with one of their Overwatch cosplays, I think. But they had the mask on because they couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
That's another story jar. But they couldn't see stuff. And like they had their mask up. And like obviously it's out of character for the character. But they literally had this one person go up to them every time they found them when they had the mask up, literally pull it down on them. And I'm just like,
what?
Why?
Why?
I don't know. It's like
that's just rude.
It got to the point that their partner had to go off at this person.
That's completely fair. That's just rude.
See,
but yeah.
This is
like,
the gripe.
Why?
This is the gripe that I have with like people just touching other people's cosplays or just in general. Like, so my horror story revolves around that, but the problem is it was with the general member of the public. It wasn't actually with like a cosplayer per se or anything like that. But it is etiquette nonetheless. When you bring children to an event, please keep them close to you.
Mm.
The only reason that I ever got mad once, and look, I'm not proud of this. So everyone here has seen me in my Star Guardian Ezreal cosplay, I think at least once. If you haven't, you obviously know that I have a gauntlet on my left arm that I always wear. And I strap that in because it comes in like 2 or 3 pieces, right? So it's like the main gauntlet itself, I strap in, and then I put the cover over it, right? That's how I get into that gauntlet, okay? It is a pain to wear because I have, like, limited movement in that arm now because of how big it is as well, right? Because it is a massive prop. I went to a Supernova one year because there was a League of Legends meetup and I really wanted to be a part of it. So I did. I was a part of it for, like... it was done, the event, the meetup happened, and then, I kid you not even half an hour after the meetup, I had a child come up to me and yank on the prop, and because I'm strapped in, it pulled my arm. And for everyone that doesn't know, I have a bad left arm from a previous injury, so I had to be very careful of it. But this child just came up and yanked on it, and I'm like, where the hell did this child come from? Whose child is this? I went up to the parents and I said to them, control your child. You're at a public event with people who have, like, delicate props, you know, delicate costumes. She didn't even fucking care. She just walked about, and the child was roaming free in the artist alley. And this is also, mind you, this is also the year that the Supernova did the 2 buildings for Sydney. So it wasn't this year, it was the previous year that they did it, which was like 2019 or something, or 2018.
Yeah, that would be in the last year they did it, yeah.
A year. The child was just running around, like, trying to look at all the all the costumes and all that, and just like causing mayhem. And I'm sitting here like, you know that there are people here with delicate costumes. Why do you bring your child and not control your child? Or just, like, don't give a damn, like...
Yeah, just the fact that obviously they've just let their child pull on a prop or something and have not cared.
Yeah, no, I even told them
like
that.
a good parent.
No, I told them that, and I literally said to them, your child almost pulled my arm out of my socket because I have a bad arm. Like, because of how strapped in the prop is. Because, like, when we all do props and all that, like, depending on if they're part of our body or, like, you know, whatever the case may be, you get strapped in a lot. Like, you get clipped in, bits get attached to you, like, and you can't really move as much as what you would like. But then you also just, like...
You know, you get sewn into your costume.
Yeah, like, and you have these people or children or whatever the case may be, just you know, running amok, essentially. And, like...
That's all I think is that, like, yeah, there are children that do go to these events and respect the costumes. Like, I've had multiple children, like younger ones, who have definitely come up and have been very respectful because their parents have taught them well. It's more like the ones that just go up and do whatever they want because they think they can.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that this is also going not for like little children and such. No, this is also going for like your young adults and such, and the teens that are there. Like, I've seen some like ones that have run around the convention like doing whatever they want just because they think they can in an adult space. Like, what was it? Friend of ours who was cosplaying My Hero Academia and such, and I remember a few years back, I don't know if you remember this, Britt, they were getting harassed by these
is it the
kids.
one where they took out all these but I do remember one of the cons. I don't think none of us attended. I think it was in Queensland. But I remember all the artists in Artist Alley got embarrassed because of this My Hero fandom. And basically, they were taking down all the art of the show because they're like,
oh my
I
god,
don't want
yeah,
to
I
be
remember that
associated
as
with that.
well.
No, I was about to say that was the first thing I was going to talk about was the fact that there was that group who were basically going around not attacking people, but were getting very testy about like certain things related to the fandom. And I'm sitting here like, really? You're gonna do this to like, you know, a fandom? Like, don't get me wrong, every fandom has its problematic cosplayers, in my honest opinion. There's no escaping it. There's no fandom that will have it, right?
There's always a rough side
Bad
to the
eggs.
fandom. This is how I like to refer to it.
Yeah, you're gonna, and as well, you're always gonna. It's like, oh, what's the saying? History's doomed to repeat. Like, there's always gonna be a fandom that's gonna be like that. Like years ago, it was the My Hero. It was the Hetalia, the Homestuck, the Danganronpa, the My Hero. I think
You said My Hero twice.
did I say My Hero twice?
Yes, you did.
Oh, JK.
My
Well,
Hero.
that's how
It's
much I don't
problematic,
like
okay.
My Hero fandom. No, I'm
My
kidding.
heroes have done it twice.
My Hero has done it twice. Well, Danganronpa has, I think, is up to its third time, or however old that show is now. Like.
Oh no,
there-
the Danganronpa fandom is just reviving, and I'm like,
I
why?
know.
I mean, there's no
But yeah,
problem
like
with
you're
that.
always gonna have as well your fandoms that appeal to probably not the best crowd, or like the younger crowd and such, where they're coming into. It's once again conventions. To be honest, as much as they seem like they're for kids, they're not for kids. They're for adults, right? They're a space where both there are kids and then there are adults in the one space, where you've got to respect each other's boundaries. Like, obviously, you got to be mature. You got to be nice. You got to be like you got to actually think about your actions and know that your actions have consequences. Like,
Actions have consequences.
consequences. Yeah. But like, it's one of those things of these like. Okay, I'm gonna probably best refer to them as minors because it goes all the way up to that age. Like, they're coming into these convention spaces thinking they can just do whatever they want
Thinking
with
they're
whoever,
adults.
like, be childish in an adult space where there are adults who are just trying to have fun, right? But then they're coming up to these adults and acting very childish. And it's like, it's just in their nature. Like, it's always been a thing. It's nothing new. Because, like I said, history's doomed to repeat. We saw this with the Homestuck Hetalia fandom and the Attack on Titan fandom, and it's probably like the Attack on Titan fandom's where I started, but it's probably even before that. There was one of those cringy fandoms who with kids who just run around the convention doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. That to me is like an etiquette that needs
like-
to really be fixed.
That's the thing, though. These kids don't exactly be considerate. They just think that they own the whole place, and you're just like, can you not?
Yeah. That's like, not to
When
get
you
into
tell them to
anything
tone down, they literally
controversial,
go off at
that's
you.
that's my thing with the whole Hasbin Hotel situation, where it's like, we adults are going into this knowing the past. If that's to quote anything, I don't know. Like, kids are coming into this
I kind of don't like
complaining about
how
it, but the thing is, we've already gone through this with our generation of cosplayers and convention goers. Of
honestly,
you know what
I'm
it's
not
like
a
in the
fan
past?
of.
Sorry.
I'm not a fan of the kids literally cosplaying from it, and they're like younger than 18, and we all know that the show is an 18+ show, and yet you have kids literally under that age cosplaying it, and you're just like, why? You are how old?
Are we talking about
Oh.
Hasbin Hotel?
Only briefly talking
Yeah.
about it. Don't want to dig too far into it, but it's just one of those things of like, just know that we're saying this from a place of we've been there, we've had your same argument to our elders, and we're now telling you what we were once told. Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our argument was the Danganronpa because that game was violent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another one. It's
Most
like,
cosplayers did.
like that's coming
our
back from obviously, I want to say my younger day eras of cosplay was once again like the Hetalia fandom and the Attack on Titan fandom and such. Like people were like, that's countries you were shipping and making really bad racial jokes about. Stop that. You shouldn't be doing that, especially as minors. And then as we've grown older, we've gone, oh yeah, we really shouldn't be doing that. We should let the next generation, like, it's a history repeating itself, and we're just trying to teach the younger. I'm on the opinion of cosplay whatever the hell you want. Just know what you are cosplaying and why we are saying this to you. Like, I don't know. It comes back to respect your elders. Like, because we've been there, we've done that, and we've learnt from our mistakes. And you're gonna come 10 years' time where you've been in the cosplay fandom for as long as we have and have seen everything that is to be cosplay, and you're like, no, we understand now, we need to tell the next generation. Like, it's just a loop. Going on into a little ramble there.
That's alright. I wanted to go back to the whole con story only because I was about to bring one up, but then I was like, I didn't know who was speaking first, so that's why I was just I backed out, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna say my piece. But I had another story to do with my Gwen cosplay at PAX like years ago. I think it was 2022, and I had the giant scissors. I had the drills. So I had like 2 things to manage: the drills and the scissors, and making sure 3 things, and making sure my hoop did not hit many people aside from my friends. Lucky I had like a big group of friends that was like willing to hold stuff for me and make sure I get photos done smoothly and get to point A to point B, because I constantly got stopped for that costume because of the scissors, and people like, whoa, giant prop, must have photo, right? So I had continuous stops trying to get into the hall and getting out of the hall, and it was just like I don't mind being stopped for photos. It was just a really slow day because I kept getting stopped. And then I got all the way to the entrance of the convention just to have a photo with my friends, because they wanted to have a photo in front of like the sign. So I was like, okay, I'll get a photo with the sign with all my friends. I had the photo, and then I sat down for a bit just to like wind down a bit. Because I was near the entrance, I had people come up to me for photos. Now, my wig had just collapsed, and I was just about to fix it, and it got worse, and it literally collapsed even badly. And I was just like, oh shoot. And I didn't feel like having a photo because I felt like having the wig was like the main purpose of the character, and I just really was like not happy that I couldn't have a good photo. So I just told the person, sorry, I can't have a photo at this time, only because my costumes malfunctioned. And look, some people can respect it, but these people were like, they seemed keen to have a photo with me, but I was just very I was very sad about the wig collapsing, so I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't think I can have a photo right now, only because the wig's collapsed, and I'm gonna feel the need to like fix the wig, and that's gonna show in my facial expression in the photo. So I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather not. Sorry. And then they seem to just walk off after, but like it's also just understanding that I had a situation just happen, and I need to make sure it's like maintained.
Yeah. See, I absolutely understand that one as well, especially when your cosplay is falling apart and you're like,
Yeah.
like, by that stage as well, I'm gonna play guess that you've been in this costume for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those things of like, you're tired, you're done, it's falling apart, like, it's one of
Yeah.
those ones where you're like, no, I just can't take photos at the moment, which is absolutely understandable as well.
Mm.
Absolutely okay. I hate when you're over near cosplay repairs and people ask for your photo
Okay,
when you are obviously waiting.
Oh! I got that. I got that at Supernova a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
This Mario cosplayer was literally following me around because obviously you and Tim and Loz knows that I fucked up my crown, and I obviously went there in the morning to fix it. I had this Mario cosplayer follow me all the way to cosplay repair, and like obviously after I fixed the crown, I went out to go back to you guys. This Mario cosplayer was full on following me around, and then came up, literally asked me for a photo. I'm like, sure, I'm not doing anything at the moment. But it was kind of creepy that he was following me around.
Yeah, that's creepy. I hate people that follow you around for no reason, for that reason. If that makes sense, like people following you, like just because they want a photo. It's like, just come up to me. If not, find me later in the day. I'm probably gonna be around.
So
Yeah, like that's the same
Like
disregard and then see if you bump into them again type thing.
Yeah.
Like if you notice they're busy doing something, you'll be like, okay, I'll go past them another time.
Yeah.
And you probably bump into them again because you will recognize the cosplay. Or maybe someone else is cosplaying the same character. You will still get the character's cosplay. But yeah.
Exactly. And as well, that's the same with like when you're sitting down eating. Right?
I was literally about to say that because eating or drinking,
it's always someone wants a photo when you're eating or drinking. Personally, if I see someone who I'm like, I'd say I love their cosplay, but I can see them, they've got their shoes off, they've got bits of your cosplay off, or if they're sitting down eating, what I'll do is I'll go up and say, hi, I know you're sitting down eating, don't worry, and I'll come and find you for a photo later. I just want to say you look really good.
yeah,
Like, or like compliment them. Yeah, sure, and make yourself known to them. But don't ask for a photo. That is like the one trigger. That's, I think, what most people hate is when you, as soon as you get those shoes. Also, another opinion, you should not ask for photos when the cosplayer's shoes are off or part of their wig. Like, say if they've taken their wig off, their shoes are off, or something of their cosplay is off. Don't even try to ask them for photos. I personally hate that because I've like the amount of times I'm in painful shoes that I've just taken off, and then someone's like, "Can I get a photo?" 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, "Sure, okay, just don't. Can you take it from like the waist up?" And the amount of times, and then they come. Sorry, I'm about to ramble about this one person. I was in. This is back Mercy, right?
over it.
Mercy's shoe. This was like at the end of the day. I took my shoes off because like my feet were dead and the wings were getting heavy. La la la. I was like, nah, I need to take my shoes off. I had this person like, oh, I really love Mercy. Can I take a photo of you? I'm like, yeah. Can you just take it from the waist up because I don't have my shoes on, and I'll hide my shoes behind my back because there was no way I was putting my shoes back on. And they're like, yeah. Take the photo. It's my full body with like my socks on. I'm like, dude, I asked you for one thing, one exception for taking a photo, is to take a photo from the waist up because my shoes aren't on and I don't want you seeing my feet. Like, yes, I got socks on, yeah, sure, but like, dude.
But don't say yes and then do the exact opposite.
Yeah. Right? Like, it's the fact that I'm allowing you to even take a photo, like, in the first place because I have my shoes off. It's because I could see this person was an Overwatch fan and it was the end of the day, so there was no way I was going to put shoes back on. So I was like, okay, it's the end of the day, he just wants a photo, I can see he's a fan of Overwatch, cool, put my, like, I'm allowing you to take a photo of me without my shoes on, like, oh, sorry, that's a whole ramble in itself. I hate, like, even if it's not the end of the day, if you see a cosplayer with no shoes on because they've had to take their shoes off, respect that. Like, there's probably a reason why they've had to take their shoes off or had to take a part of their cosplay off. Because, like, most cosplayers I know won't take parts of their cosplays off unless there's a reason. And, like, that reason could be, like, they're getting a headache,
Usually
they're getting, like, they're in pain, they cannot wear this thing any longer, or don't want to wear this thing any longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, sorry, that's a whole ramble.
No, no, but this is going back to the whole thing about just etiquette in general at conventions. Even, like, okay, I don't know if, like, you guys experience the same thing that I experience, right? But etiquette towards, like, your photographers and that.
Mm.
So,
Hmm.
so I, like, obviously, like, with regards to, so I can now at least talk about this because obviously I'm now, you know, I'm now basically photographer, videographer, not just a cosplayer. Like, yes, I will still cosplay every now and then when it's warranted or when I'm asked to cosplay and it's something that I actually care about, right? I.e., Lords are getting me to cosplay Percy, so I was like, yes, sure. But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'm doing photography, right? My biggest gripe with cosplayers is that I make it very clear that if you book with me for photos, if you need the photos like super ASAP or like super fast, please let me know, right? And 9 times out of 10, I then get a message back from that person afterwards being like, can you send me some photos? And I'm sitting here like, you never told me to. So obviously the request is I recover, right? Because I am one person filming not only my Tip Twinkle like content for my own stuff, I also am doing productions, right? And it's a very trying time as a person who is just one editor for everything. I'm a photo editor, I'm a video editor, and I do everything to myself.
Mm.
Please understand that I've just had a weekend of absolute chaos. Please respect the time it takes for you for them to give you back content. I'm not going to have content straight away. But as I said, if the people ask for it or request it, then that's a different story. Like I think what was it? I had your wife ask for photos of their the cosplay from Supernova. What was it? Dr. Teeth.
Yeah, the Saturday.
Yeah, they requested photos back straight away, and I was like, I've got you, fam. I'll give them to you.
Yeah, but even at that, like, because I know from other TOGs, stories of like it's literally been the afternoon after a convention, like the con's just finished and they're getting messages about hey, are the photos ready. It's like, oh, I absolutely feel so sorry for photographers because obviously, yeah, photo editing takes time.
Yeah, like I've streamed my photo editing. I don't even get through like a whole batch of them half the time.
Yeah. And like there's a whole selection process to it. Like there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes between like taking the photos to receiving the photos. And like, yeah, this is for a lot of people who like to post photos straight away after a convention. I understand that, but like if you're looking to post straight away after a convention, take your own photos and then get the nicer photos back when they're ready. Yes, you might be lucky and a photographer might be able to get them back within, say, the week. but that's maybe because that they've had time off or something like that. Like they've been able to get that turnaround. But most photographers, that's pretty rare to find. Like, I expect probably very minimum from most photographers to take a week to 2 weeks to get back photos.
Like, I've only just finished my Supernova pics, right? That was because I also had a giant Legends of Vox Machina group.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and
yeah.
I had so many photos to go through with that. Like, I took, like, at least, I want to say, like, 200 photos. They got back at least, like, 40 photos. Like, across, like, the groups, the duos, the couple of solos that I ended up taking. They got photos back.
Mm. And like you're saying, it takes a while to edit them.
Yeah, like, and
in general, like, each one could be different.
They are. It's not like a thing of you can copy and paste stuff. Like when I did, so this is going to talk about Oni's Kokomi photo that I did for 2022 packs. I didn't give that back to Oni until like 2 weeks after I was back from Sydney, and they were cool with it. And I was like, look, I literally just got back from Melbourne, and I'm only just now editing photos now, so...
I will say, on the other hand, I absolutely hate when a photographer takes, like, 2 months or some shit like that to get your photos back. Like...
Oh, no, 100%.
So long, because, like, I'm also on the side of, like, okay, it's different if it's a paid shoot versus a free shoot. If it's a free shoot, I expect it to take a lot longer because obviously I didn't pay for those photos. If it's a paid shoot, I'm more like, hey, I paid for those photos. I need that content. Is there any way you can get it back in a timely manner? That's why I say if it's a paid shoot, I look around that 2 week ish like return. Maybe a little bit more if I know the photographer is busy and such, but like if it's a paid shoot and I've paid a lot of money for it, yeah, that's understandable. But I've also had like done photo shoots where I've either never received the photos back, that's taken them like 2 to 3 months to return photos. Like to me that show, like as a cosplayer who likes to use those photos as content, probably won't return back to you if I know you're gonna take 2 months to...
But this is the thing as well, like, it's etiquette both ways.
I'd like to put my sense into this and be like, sometimes photographers never give you your photos.
Yeah.
You constantly message them and they just ghost you.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that so much when you want photos back because you remember seeing a really amazing photo that was in that shoot, and then you never see the light of day of those photos. There are so many photos out there where I'm like, whatever happened to these photos? I swear to God, I had photos of this and they just never appeared. I remember, going back probably 5-6 years now, I did like Kim Possible, and I did a photo shoot with a photographer, and I never saw the light of day of those photos. They never
I remember those ones.
Yeah.
That was at the meetup, wasn't it?
At the meetup, yeah. I got maybe 2 photos back from one photographer, and that's all I got from that meetup years ago. And I'm like,
were these like the Sydney meetups or whatever they were?
Yeah, the Sydney meetups. I will say, like I said, it was one of those things of the photographers were doing it for free. So that's why I was like, okay, that's understandable if the turnaround time is much longer because I'm not paying for your time. You're doing this at your free will. But at the same time, it's like, hi, I would love to get these photos back. And you're holding photos of me, and I would just...
I feel like they usually post the whole, like...
The whole album or, like, the whole day.
I think they did post the photos, but they posted it in the group, like, in the group event page. And no one tends to pay attention to that after the event's gone, because obviously the event's done and dusted.
Yeah.
Back at that.
But like,
that's going back to like older days there. And there are still some togs that I find that I don't like. They're the sweetest people. I just personally don't work with them because I know how long it takes for their turnover period.
Yeah, gee, thanks.
Well, I'd like to add about the photographer topic only because I know some friends, like photographer friends in the Melbourne community especially, that actually get like as soon as they finish like the con and they've taken free photos, not paid, free, they get hassled in DMs straight away.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we were talking about before. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it happens everywhere, and it shows like a lack of respect to someone who's doing this for free. Mind you, I could like at the moment I don't charge anything, okay? And people are probably like, well, why don't you charge for your services? The only reason is that I have a full-time job outside of everything that I do. I have a full-time 9-to-5 job. Okay? That supplements a lot of my income. That helps a lot of my income, which a lot of these photographers sometimes don't even have they have part-time work or something, or they end up they're like me where they have full-time work, so they don't have the time and energy to be able to smack bang out all the photos out.
Yeah, and it's also like maintaining like your gear as well, and what's it called? And everything costs sometimes.
Well, yeah, it's all the like excess cost type thing of it's the gear, it's the price to maintain the gear. You got to be able to transport that gear, so like, and then as well you got to get to the location, and there's a lot of costs that go into it. Also adding on the whole like respect your togs and all of that is to also like don't get mad if you want to book a shoot and they ask for money. Because so prime example, I did a photo shoot earlier this year. It was a big group shoot, so we had different cosplayers all pitching in to rent out a studio and a photographer. This was the photographer's was organizing it. He was organizing the studio, and then we all just paid him for the studio and a bit for him. We had like all these cosplayers that wanted to join. It was all peachy clean and such. So we did this last year as well. And as soon as the topic changed over to money of how much the studio and the photographer was going to cost and how much we were all pitching in, which mind you was like a fairly reasonable price, dropping like flies. So many people just left the group chat. So many people conveniently were busy or couldn't make it anymore.
So this is my issue, right? This is why I fear charging is not, like, I fear people won't book my services. Is just straight up for the fact that people would do that. Like, I get it. Cosplaying is... Cosplaying is expensive.
Pricey
it's not
as
cheap.
well.
It's not cheap. But please understand, like, as a photographer and a videographer, my gear is not cheap. Like, the gear that I
You're like borrowing it.
That and okay, so bringing it back to the etiquette topic, right? Like we are supposed to be doing. To me, it's also etiquette to offer up money.
Offer up something to your photographer.
Either if that's like, oh, can I at least buy you a coffee to say thank you for taking these photos? Like
coffee, food, if they need
something.
if they want money,
if they need help with something or something like the very very least you could be nice to your photographer, and that's just proper cosplay photographer etiquette because we're bringing it back around town.
I just want to mention, just it's a little thing, but like, feed your fellow photographer.
Please,
as
feed
well
me.
as yourself.
Please feed me.
Well.
No,
me with bubble tea.
Oh yeah, me with bubble
Shove
tea.
Bubble tea in your face.
Shove bubble tea, Red Bull, or coffee in my face. I'm fine. Just any of those. No,
I
but
feel like
Or
bubble tea. You
nuggets.
want one?
or nuggets. But
Or
no,
nuggets.
in all seriousness though, like talking about respecting other people in the cosplay community and all that, right? Everyone needs to respect everyone.
Yes. Full stop.
It doesn't matter if you're all photographers, if you're all cosplayers. My honest opinion, we end up getting so much slack for the fact that we are, you know, we are doing this out of our own wanting to, right? We're not doing this because people are asking us to, right? We're doing it because we want to do this as our pastime, right? This is our hobby. This is sometimes this is our career. Like,
Yeah, like, and that's how they're gonna make money is like getting hired as a photographer for official events.
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, like and just showing like the etiquette both ways goes a long way for so many people. It's not just like people may think, oh, it's nothing, you know, showing like, you know, a little bit of you know, etiquette towards somebody, like good etiquette. It helps in the long run because the first thing that you think of is they're a good bean. I respect that.
Which I find really important within cosplay as well, because that will convince people to work with you and like keep returning to work with you. Because like obviously, as cosplayers, we can. This is also okay. This is also touching into other stuff, but like, you can deny a photographer, and cosplay photographers can deny you as a cosplayer if you have shown that you just don't vibe well, if your vibes are off. Like, you can say no.
Mm.
You
And
have a right to
don't
say
be
no.
afraid to say no, both on the sides of a cosplay photographer and a cosplayer. You don't need to, like, take photos with someone you don't want to take photos with if you know that they're not going to be nice back to
My
you.
cosplay horror story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Exactly.
like to bring that one up.
Yeah, no,
Like,
exactly.
don't be afraid to
I
say
said
no.
no.
Like, and as well, like, don't be rude about it. It's just as simple of oh no, like, maybe you're busy. Or, like, a photographer could be like, no, sorry, I've just booked out for the day. I don't have room to fit you in.
Well,
And
that's why, like, at least now I have a booking system, right? The reason I have it is, look, I do it because it helps organize myself throughout the day. It's got specific time slots, and then I don't have to worry about it, right? There are also other people who just, I think, take Google Forms and that sort of stuff, and then they organize it from themselves. It's don't be don't be upset if a photographer is booked out solid. Like,
exactly.
And
Do
tells you,
agree on that one.
they can't get
Like,
you
they
in
can't
because
take
they're
you.
actually booked.
Yeah, it's not your fault. And a lot of the times, a photographer wants to take you. It's just they're booked out. Like, they've just got too many people to take photos of. Or like, say, prime example, a lot of photographers, if someone's from out of state, they might book the person that's coming from out of state because they don't often get a chance to work with that photographer, that cosplayer, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Mm.
No.
So-
Oh, no, I agree. Like, just respect photographers, cosplayers, respect your photographers, and photographers respect your
Right about
cosplayers. They
is
said,
sorry, that's probably the main thing with etiquette is just respect.
oh, it is.
Respect one another. That's
So,
what etiquette means.
so the follow up now, because this also goes back to the whole support network where you set up for camp and all that, right? People who end up being the designated bag person, for the love of God, show them respect.
Quick. I don't know if my clicking.
Click, 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 click. For the love of.
We're turning into snap poetry. And poetry.
So
And then right there.
legitimately though, I've had friends who they've been to events and they just don't ever get a chance to either go into the con or whatever the case may be because they've been designated the bag person.
Also, ask them first if they want to be the bag person.
This.
Literally.
Not everyone.
I'm not gonna lie.
bag
I'm gonna
person.
out a bunch of people. Sorry,
Don't.
I'm gonna out a lot of people from last year at Supernova. I somehow got designated bag bitch. I didn't want to be. And I just got stuck with everyone's stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I can't leave this stuff.
Like,
So thankfully, Oz's sister got her partner to look after it, so I could actually go into the con for once. But I was so mad that a certain person literally left all their things with me. Did not ask if I wanted to go in or not, because I just wanted to stay with Tiff, because obviously reasons. But yeah, I was so pissed at this person. Like, you didn't even think. You just wanted to go in, see friends. Didn't ask me if I wanted to go in. And then you just continue to dump all your crap on me. And I'm like, why?
and
I want to go in. Why can't you look after your stuff?
on that as well, like sometimes I'm happy to be the bag bitch. Like Supernova, I got to, at the end of the convention, I got to a point where I'm like, I don't want to interact with so many people because I'm like in the negative spoons. My friends were like stressing out over meet and greets and such, so I was like, hey, I can't interact with many people at this moment. I kind of just want to stay in one place. You do what you need to do and I'll hold all your bags. And like they were highly appreciated of that. Like, it's okay to be the bag person as well. Like, sometimes, like, you don't realize how much we appreciate it. But at the same time, it's like, make sure the person wants to be first, because like, and as well, ask around to see if someone wants to be the bag person. Like, don't assume one person will always be the bag person, because sometimes, like, yeah, some people just don't want to interact or be in cosplay, or like they just need some time to chill. And 9 times out of 10, well, at least personally, I'm happy just to hold the bags if I need space, because then I know I'm helping. Yeah, sure, and it forces me to stay in one place and relax, but it also means that like I can have my space for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Also, meanwhile, I have like a friend that's like willing to be the bag person every time I go to a con with them.
And that's good.
And
we love and respect them.
And then I got the Colleen magazine shirt that's like convention mule. I gave it to them.
Oh my god.
And he's like, oh, this is the best shirt ever.
My sister's partner has that shirt as well for the same reason.
It's just like a friend of mine that is willing to hold my bag.
Well.
And I'm just like, I respect it, but I sometimes feel bad making them my bag person, but
yeah,
it's just
oh yeah, and then
like,
you're gonna find people are going to go to cons to help out for that same reason, because they want to help you.
yeah.
And at that, give them respect. Like, offer them lunch, offer them drinks, offer them coffee. Like, make sure they're okay and they're fed and are seen and respected as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole other thing in general of people not respecting their handlers and bag bitches and such.
No, they're not, and that's the thing, right? I've had loads of friends who have turned into like the designated bag person, and they get like treated like absolute garbage because people will just come out and just like dump shit there, and you know, dump their stuff there just because they want to go and do, you know, stuff, and then they show no respect to the person who's willing to do that, even though they
Yeah.
might have bought a ticket to the event as well, mind you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also,
I ca-
oh, sorry.
Cosplay
sorry.
etiquette.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, respect each other. And then
Liz.
stuff we haven't also touched about is just the general etiquettes of like, I don't know, like obviously cosplay is not consent we've touched about. Be respectful for others, be respectful for your surroundings and other people's cosplay. Is there anything else we haven't touched about etiquette? What are to you are some unspoken rules in the community is probably a best thing. Like number one unspoken rule, no one really talks about it, but it's kind of just a thing that happens in respect of the community.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah. That we have obviously haven't touched about as well, like
Unspoken rules.
unspoken rules of the community. Like I know personally,
Well, obviously, don't touch a person unless they've stated that they're comfortable with it.
yeah, that's absolutely agree with.
I know a lot of people tend to post their con guidelines a few days or weeks before the con. Be like, hey, these are my boundaries. Can you respect them?
Yeah, agree.
Most people will listen, others don't, and kind of push you to that limit, and you're like, no, I don't want to anymore.
Yeah. My
I
personal
honestly
one
hate when people do
is
that.
yeah, agree. My personal one is don't go fishing for compliments. And don't go
Oh, yes, that.
this is something that happens with me and another friend of ours. We were just walking around the convention and this lady comes up to us and is like, oh, we love you, like, I love your cosplay. And we're like, oh, thank you. And then in politeness, we return. It was like, oh, I love your cosplay as well. I think she was Catwoman and such. And then she was like, oh, do you want to take a photo? Do you want to take a photo of me? I was like, and that's what made it really awkward because like we were just replying in politeness, if that makes sense. But like it gets really awkward when you start fishing for compliments and fishing for photos, and you can see them as well. You know the exact people at a convention who are just standing there in the middle of the room waiting for compliments and waiting
For someone to
photos.
approach them.
Yeah, waiting, and they're literally standing there waiting for it. I know. I just get an ick from that. That's also my cosplay ick. Is if you are obviously standing in the middle of a convention hall waiting for compliments and photos.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Also,
but yeah, no, don't go fishing for compliments.
Also, my unspoken rule, and it's a big one: no bullying or shaming other cosplayers, regardless of their skill level. No one is to be shamed. Even if you're having a bad day in cosplay and say like you've got a malfunction with your wig or something, but you're still soldiering on, do not shame other cosplayers.
Agree. Like, empower, not shame.
Exactly. That. 100% that. Because we only want to support each other.
Yeah. Agree. I know that's the same with a lot of, like, I see a lot of cosplayers where I can see their wigs been through the ringer, like they've had a day with, like, Hatsune Miku cosplayers, right? Those wigs are terrible. Absolutely hate a Hatsune Miku wig.
Hatsune Miku, Junko, Jinx.
From experience.
It's like you go up to them and it's like you can see that their wig's messy. Like, don't tell them their wig is messy because they probably know that their wig is messy. If anything, like, be like, hey, I can see you've got like a few hairs out of place. Do you want me to quickly brush them down? Like, and don't be like an ass about it. Like, be like, oh, actually, that's another thing. If something is out of place, don't mention it. So if something obviously looks broken, I don't want you to come up to me and say, hey, your thing's broken. It's like, to me, I know it's broken.
Most of the time, you know it's broken. You just don't want to say anything.
Yeah. Well, this is going back to the story Oni was talking about, is that, like, if something's breaking, you know it's breaking, and you're probably having a hard time because it's breaking and you've worked hard on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't want someone to come up to me and be like, oh, that's broken. I was at a panel
Like, no shit.
for a
No.
cosplayer at DreamHack, and they were saying, the only time you mention something is if it can be immediately fixed now. So say, prime example, if say something looks like it's been velcroed on and the velcro's just come apart, you just go up to them politely and say, hey, I noticed this is coming off. Do you want me just to quickly press it back on? And then the cosplayer might say, yeah, oh my god, I didn't notice that. Can you just press it that back on? Or like the snaps come off, or this is just hanging off. Like, if you can do it in a quick pinch, it's totally fine. Just go up to them and just be like, hey, I noticed this is happening. Are you okay? Is there anything I can help with? But if it's something that you cannot fix immediately, don't talk about it. Don't mention it. Sorry, that's another ramble in myself, because the amount of times I've had that where someone's like,
I mean,
oh,
I'd like to point out last
year's
year's Smash with.
Yeah. Like, if something's broken, I
I'd
know
like
it's
to point out
broken.
Oni is Hu wig
Oh,
from last year.
we hate that wig. That wig's going in the dump. I
We
know
did.
that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
I know that
another
wig was
twin tail
shitty, but
Hatsune
we were
Miku
brushing
wig.
the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Well, that's another
Tangled
thing. It's
everything.
like, if
Oni's Hu wig.
a wig's messy and such, and you have the supplies to help the cosplayer fix their wig, you politely go up and say, hey, I noticed your wig's a little messy. Do you want me to quickly brush the ends for you? I've got a brush and I've got the stuff to fix it to make it look better right this second. But if you do not even have the stuff to fix it, don't even mention it. Don't say it, just ignore it.
Usually that's
Oh,
the
ramble.
case with me. I have this little pack with me that I would bring to cons. Like, it's just a mini sewing kit, scissors, and all that.
Yeah.
Just to fix stuff.
Yeah. Well, a lot of cosplayers do have that.
Anyway,
And
now
when
that
in
we're
doubt, there is
speaking
a
about
repair station
Smash-
somewhere. I'm happy to help you go to a repair station. Like, if it's something that's obviously troubling you.
Laws,
Yeah.
I hate to cut you off, but now that we're on the topic of Smash, or like talking about Smash, who wants to announce their cos plans?
Yeah. I'm doing Uta on the Saturday from One Piece Red Film, and then for Sunday I'm doing Utahime from Jujutsu Kaisen. So those are my cos plans for next weekend's con.
I'm doing Lucy from Fairy Tail, and I'm doing Mari from Love Live. Which, who does Love Live cosplays in this year?
I know.
Anyway, Oz.
Up live in 2024 in our Lord's year.
Alright.
I know. So Saturday I'm doing Marcel from Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon.
Which I saw the prop you've been working on.
My prop is that I didn't even plan my prop to be the same size as my lollipop prop for Nesta, and it's exact same dimensions in every way, and I'm like, oh, fucking damn it.
Jester cosplayers coming out.
I know. So many people said that. I find it so funny. And then Sunday it's gonna be Card Capture Sakura, but in her school uniform, from the original Sakura. And then I might switch wigs into Tomoyo from Sakura, Card Capture Sakura, so her best friend. That's a little up in the air though. It depends if I can get my camcord to work. And depending on how much running around I'm doing with volunteer work.
Oh, you're volunteering for it?
WCS I'm helping out with. So I'm helping out with a lot of the backstage stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll be running around helping all the competitors and such, and moving props on and off stage, which if you get the chance to go and watch it, I highly recommend the watch.
I'll probably stop by mainly because I want to like highlight some things. Because I'm also coming to Smash as a content creator, so
Getting the fancy pants.
so I gotta highlight some things for the convention, which I plan on anyways. But yeah, I always do my like little TikToks in the side and stuff, like the silly one last year. That was totally. Tiff is doing the gestures, which I can't really see on stream, but it's the one where I'm in my Blake cosplay and I'm dancing to I Am by Ive, and I literally flop onto the floor in public, and it's just funny. I kind of want to do that, but like,
you should
like
do
literally in public type thing and see if people.
I was gonna say, because you're doing the character that Addo is voices.
Yeah.
You should do show. You're like,
Yeah.
so crazy for my show. Yeah.
I know the dance to that one, but I also want to do New Genesis since it's a song from the movie and it does have a dance. So I'm hoping to do a
most
TikTok
of them
on
do
that one.
have a dance though.
It's New Genesis has the dance.
Of the songs in the movie.
And then the rest are just sung.
No, some do have a dance.
Or is it Fleeting Lullaby?
Does
maybe.
Kind of have a dance. They kind of have like that dance in it, but then it's just mostly singing.
Yeah. Because I looked at it.
I love how all three of you has cosplans. I don't.
What are your cosplans, Tiff Twinkle or Tiff Twinkle Productions?
I am going as a GTA 5 citizen.
Not even GTA 6.
Not even GTA 6.
No.
We're getting GTA 5 cosplay before GTA 6 is released.
Wow.
No, but in all seriousness though, I am actually going to Smash just like casual. So I'll be probably wearing something that from my wardrobe that everyone knows me for. But I am also filming my my cosplay videos. So I'll be doing that pretty much the entire weekend. Because I feel as though that's something we don't ever get as much in Sydney, especially. We don't get cosplay videos because, like, honestly, cosplay videos is like so fun to do.
Fair.
But no, in all seriousness though, it is like so good to be able to show like the cosplays off, in my honest opinion, because a picture can only tell so much, but a video, however, shows the person actually being that character. So, but no, honestly, I think that's pretty much it. I think we're all done. Why is it? Why is it so quiet? What the?
Look, we talked too much, right?
I finally found who won ECG last night. Do you want to know what their costume was?
What?
What's the costume?
The little guys from Night at the Museum. The little what? Cowboy and the Roman soldier won.
I'm sorry. Is that legit?
Well, I'm getting ECG up. Oh my gosh.
No, this is on someone else's page.
Send it to us.
I will. I'm gonna find actually, I'm just gonna screenshot this. So, Czech Republic won overall. France came second, which looks like it's some Phantom of the Opera ass cosplay, which looks stunning, like the beadwork. Oh my god. And then obviously we came third.
Oh my god, you weren't joking.
What?
You were not
Also,
fucking. You were
At the same
not
time, I'm
joking.
like, that's a really cool cosplay. That looks really
That's
cool.
a
And then
me.
it
Oh
was their
my
skit that
gosh.
also won. But I also want to know what skit they did now.
Arguing with with someone by the sounds of it.
I wasn't expecting. Like, I was like, oh, I don't know who actually came first. Who came first?
Oh gosh, I can just see Shrek and Fairy gone. No, Fiona,
No,
Princess Fiona,
That one I saw bits and bobs of. It was Fairy Godmother, Shrek. Sorry, Ogre Fiona and Human Fiona.
Oh
I'm
my
like, oh, I kind of wish I could see these skits. These skits look like would have been funny.
They should have live streamed this. They probably would have on some like
There's
site.
some really cool costumes in there that I'm like, what were their skits? I want to know their skits. Like there was a looks like there's a Willy Wonka one. There's a Jasmine and Aladdin. There's an Aloy there. There's a Mirabelle. There's an Abby and Ellie. So I'm like, oh, I think that's supposed to be Abby. But yeah,
I don't know. We are getting
I can't wait to see these clips. I want to watch these so badly.
All right. So
Look,
I think that's
I
it.
finished off my bit.
You did
Yeah.
finish off your bit. I think that's pretty much it for the cosplay etiquette time for this
Yeah.
episode.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. But yes, no, we will all be attending Smash. So if you do ever run into us, feel free to say hi. We're friendly. I might just be holding my
Mostly.
camera equipment. Quiet you.
Yeah.
We're friendly. Tim isn't.
Oi!
I promise not to bite.
No, I promise not to dangle my camera in front of people as if it's like nothing. Gremlin. But yeah, no, honestly, yeah, no, I'm honestly happy that we talked about the etiquette because it is a thing that we all need to at least know about. Because yeah, again, respect everyone, respect your photographers, respect your cosplayers, and just the general republic, respect each other. So, but yeah, who wants to close it out?
Shut up.
Shot not.
Shut up.
So that's been today's episode, and I cook cream soup.
Coco Loco.
Oh my god, can we not? Why?
Just to
Because
terrorize.
why not? This is what
True.
you get for letting Audie finish.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, come on, Audie, you can do this.
Thanks for tuning in today. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, I'd assume, or we'll figure it out. But yeah, next week we've got the con. Next episode we'll probably highlight some things about the con, and yeah.
No,
Do we know what the main topic is next week?
I don't even know, but we'll discuss that another time.
Something we're totally gonna bounce around.
Oh,
Yes.
probably.
Sure, we have the episode discussions.
Oh wait, no.
How
How
cosplay
cosplay
has
has
changed in the
changed.
last 5 years, apparently. How cosplay has changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we might
So-
end up talking about that.
After some Smash highlights.
Yeah, because like it'll be Smash time. We might end up postponing it to another thing, or we might split up half, I guess. So I don't know.
I feel depending on how much we've got to talk about. But yeah.
Yeah. Actually, after Smash, because we'll probably have stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Anyways, it's
I love
bubble
how we're
tea
trying
time.
to end the stream and we're continuing on.
Yeah, no. All right, we're gonna end it there, chat, and stream and everything, and listeners, because depending on what you are listening on or watching this on. But no.
But yeah, also, yeah, thank you so much for the support on the first episode of the broadcast as well, or podcast as well. That was pretty. I didn't expect many people to tune in and have a lot of
Yeah.
feedback straight away. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, so we'll see you.
In 2
Well,
weeks?
you listen to us and
You'll
we'll
listen
hear
to us
from
in
yous
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
I
Yes.
think we will be in the same spot in 2 weeks' time. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see yous, everyone. Hope you enjoyed.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.